caseworkers, we have clinic space, we have computer lab and multi-purpose room. On the basement level, we have the, which we're not going to go to the basement, but on the basement level, we have the parking, 11 spaces for the staff members. We have the eating area with the kitchen, which is actually divisible with movable partitions, folding partitions. And then we have support spaces, water heater room, storage, electrical room, things of that nature. On floors 2 through 5, we have 10 floors, 10 rooms each. On each floor, we have laundry facilities. I think it's 3 public shared bathrooms and 2 private bathrooms that support double capacity rooms, and I'll show you what that means when we get upstairs. So we can walk inside and take a look at the first floor.
The bucket's hiding a hole, so. Last minute.
So essentially the order of construction right now is we're working 2, 3, 4, and 5 to finish those units first. Then we will finish the first floor and then the basement. So right now you see the framing is done, and they're going to start drywalling shortly on this floor. On the second floor is 2 through 5. We've started drywall. On 2 and 3 we have furniture coming in, so we have a sample you can look at when we get upstairs. Like I said, outside this portion of the facility is going to be more public. So you have the caseworkers' offices, you have the conference room. This is the actual computer room, multi-purpose room. Then on the back side, which is in addition to the facility, on the right-hand side we have a staff lounge and a community room, and then we have the units on the left side of the facility. So we can go.
And this is going to be like a lobby
This is
area?
the lobby area. So there will be an actual reception desk here with a waiting seating area in this corner over here.
Just so folks know, there'll be key card access, so people will only have access to the floors that they need to be on. So people will have access to the first floor, to the basement, and then to whatever floor they're staying on. Grant, come this way, bud.
Okay, we can go this way.
Okay, got it. We'll follow you.
So we're gonna go this way.
Are you making a speech or just head this way?
Yeah, we're gonna look at some of the sample units.
Oh. Oh, wow.
What the heck? This is so boring.
So nice in like a trundle bed.
So the trundle beds allows to serve families of different sizes. But then more importantly, the doors between the rooms, like a motel room, let us serve really large families and then also smaller.
Are all of them like that?
They're not all like that.
Okay.
There's a couple there's I think one on each floor that's like that.
And then this one is the larger one, has the bathroom.
Yeah, when Ajay comes in, he can talk about the floor.
So this is one of the units that has double capacity. And when I say double capacity, I'm speaking of the ability to share these 2 spaces, and they'll share the bathroom. So if there's one large family that needs more than 3 beds or 4 beds, then they will share these 2 rooms. Typically, each room has about 3 beds, and this is the trundle to extend the capacity for each room. And this is the general setup of how we use it.
But if there was a different family over there, they wouldn't use this.
Now, if there's a different family over there, they would use the restroom right on the corner.
How much storage space will they have? Is it just this one
Wardrobe?
wardrobe?
Yes.
So if a family moves in and they have, let's say, 3 bedrooms worth of stuff, is that not, okay? Should I not ask those questions at this walkthrough?
No, it's,
You can ask
Okay.
Most of our families don't come with a ton of stuff, but if
Okay.
they were coming in and they had stuff that they had to store somewhere, we would help them figure out how to store it.
Okay, so it gets possibly stored off-site
Yeah, we would
if
let,
they had,
if there was a place that they could, with family that they could store it, we would try to problem solve in that
Okay.
way or with friends. But for the most part, they're not coming with a ton of things.
okay. Are they allowed to put anything on the walls or no?
Yeah.
I mean, like nails and pictures, things like that. Or,
Yeah, I mean, I think we will do some design work. I think we will have some things on the walls.
Okay.
But there's no reason why families couldn't hang things on the walls.
I'm sorry,
There's
say
no
that.
reason why a family couldn't hang
Okay,
something on the wall.
okay, thank you.
And can I ask a question about the privacy? So if there's a family that, well, some families have males and females as the, you know, husband and wife.
Yes.
Where would they wouldn't have to stay in the same room with their children, would they?
Yeah. These are private rooms, so a full family stays in a room together.
Oh, even if it's male and, you know,
Just like
father and
down
mother?
at DC General and motels,
Yeah.
it's temporary. No, it's, you know, it's just a be in a safe
60 to 90
place.
days, right?
Well, they try to move them, you know, as quickly as they can.
That's projected 60 to 90 days, right?
I think so, right?
So, but these are all twin beds, so husband and wife would sleep on one bed and then kids on another, or I'm just thinking it's kind of a tight squeeze for a husband and wife couple to sleep.
Yeah, I don't think they would sleep in the same bed.
Okay.
In this type of room. The majority of our
Right.
families are
What
led by single
percentage? I would
parents.
say, what percentage of your families?
that's longer than a couple.
She was saying though that, I don't know if everybody heard that, she said that a lot of the families are led by a single
Yeah,
parent.
well, isn't it
Not
like
a couple.
80% or so?
Usually that is the
I
case.
don't know the exact number,
Okay.
but it's a pretty big
But they
percentage.
would make an accommodation if there were a husband and wife so that they,
I mean, in this type of room, you could move 2 beds to put them together if people want to sleep next to each other. But the majority of our families are led by a single parent. But we also have families that are led by just males. We have families that are led by just females. We have families that are led by 2 females. So we have all different types of families in our system.
right, that's why we were asking, like, how would people, if they were sleeping together, how would they do it? They'd have to put the 2 beds together?
Yeah, I think they're
How is the door secured again? Do each, no, this door,
It has hardware, I mean. it's
does
locked.
each family have a key or do they have a
Family will be given
fob?
card to swipe.
Okay, and it will go to their particular door. Okay, okay.
And also to their floor, and then
Okay.
also to the other places in the building where they need to be.
So a family could only go onto their floor. They couldn't visit, like, let's say their friends on the 5th floor or whatever floor.
That's correct.
Only their floor and
They wouldn't go to common areas for visiting, right?
Exactly.
I remember hearing at one point that this was short-term. What is, is short-term redefined now, or what is it?
So our goal for length of stay is between 60 and 90 days. Right now, the length of stay in our system is about twice that. So we're still working to get
That's
that
good.
done.
Okay.
And you did say the families, they could do whatever they want with these furniture, meaning move it around. It's not, it has to stay, whatever makes them comfortable with the existing furniture.
So there's some furniture that's going to be bolted to the walls
Okay,
to be kid safe.
yes.
There are other pieces of furniture that will not be. I think if families wanted to rearrange a room, it's something that their case manager or staff on site could help them with if
Okay.
there was a good reason why they were doing that.
What kind of window coverings are they gonna be? I love the light, but they're,
Yeah.
No privacy.
right,
Mini blinds.
dark, okay.
We're gonna have the mini blinds in all of the windows.
Speaking of windows, they used to break those windows out before you could even get them. You put this one in and break that one. I haven't seen any broken windows lately. What do you use? Bulletproof glass?
So we've had some good luck.
When it was empty.
Yeah, that's when it was, nobody was.
You have, you probably have
So the
security.
window's open, but there's no screen.
Right, so that window is not gonna open further than that. That 4 inches,
Safety.
right now it's loose so the workers can get in and out of the building.
Oh, okay.
When
So they won't be able to open the windows.
They will
Crack the window, but
Okay.
It'll be about a 4-inch gap for air to circulate into the room. They will not be able to open the windows all the way.
It's essential air conditioning, right?
Yes.
Question, what about baby beds and cribs?
We have pack and place that can be moved from room to room. So if there's a infant in one room this week, they can move it over here. If there's an infant in another room another week, we can move it.
Where are the bathrooms? Is it is the,
So some of it, about 10% or 20% in this way. Some of them,
So on each floor, 2 through 5, this room and the other room on the other side of the building has a private bathroom. And then all the other rooms will share the corridor bathrooms, which are accessible only from the corridor.
so about 20% have private baths that are in their room, like an ensuite bath. The others have a shared bath that they share with one other family.
This is only
The
a private
bathroom,
bathroom.
the shared family bathrooms are only accessible through the hallway. So there's only one entrance. So you would close the door and lock it when your family or you were in that bathroom.
okay. How do you determine
Yeah.
which family, this family lucked out, got their own bathroom, but then another family, I guess the same size, is in shared bathrooms?
So some of them are in response to ADA requests.
Okay.
So a family would, for some reason, needs a private bath. Some of it may not all be in response, and it might just be the luck of the draw based on what we
Okay.
have available at that time.
Okay.
That 90-day turnaround, is that an improvement over DC now? Tremendous improvement?
What you saying? Which one? Oh, yeah.
So this is one bathroom.
This is a pretty large bathroom for,
So they gotta put a shower, I guess. Is that what they're gonna do, put a shower in here?
There's a shower right there.
Okay, I wonder what, so.
oh, there's no bathtub.
They're not done.
Of course, there's a bathtub here, there's a bathtub.
Oh, right.
This is probably just, I mean, I don't know. Looks like there's some more stuff for the bathroom. Maybe shelving? Looks like a.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some shower.
Mhm. Are you live? The bathroom, are they gonna have blind?
So this is going to be the common space. So there'll be a TV in here.
Oh,
Just gonna
nice.
explain it.
Okay.
On each floor. And this, right off of the elevator lobby, is your common room or your community room. And so this is where there'll be, right now we got beds in, so excuse me. But along the accent wall, there'll be some bar height countertops for homework. We'll have a sofa in here. We have a sink and microwave in here, and we'll have a television in here. So this is on every floor.
Do you know if this is open until a certain time? Like, is it?
That's a program question.
Okay, no problem.
And I think that's probably going to be dictated by the provider.
Okay,
But ask Jenny.
Jenny. Okay, thank you.
This is gonna be the common area?
This is the common area, yes.
Okay.
We didn't have it open all the time, because some people, their schedules make it vary.
That's true.
We gotta talk to Jenny Renee.
It's not
She's
gonna
right
be
there. Yeah.
open all the time?
I do not know. I can't.
I think it would be.
Right.
What's in this one, Grant?
Wait, who's Jenny again?
Jenna. She has the
General?
Jenna.
Jenna. Sorry. Right, Jen. We were just inquiring about. Sorry. This common area, the hours. Is it going to be open 24/7?
We haven't really talked about that, but I expect it to be open 24/7,
Okay.
mostly just because of the microwave and
Yes.
sink, and I think people need access to that type of thing.
Wait, is this the kitchen?
No,
Is this
so
just the common area?
Kitchen, they're really having full service kitchen.
the
Oh,
food is
sorry.
served and is brought on site. So there's a warming kitchen downstairs, and that's where
Oh.
families will actually eat.
Okay.
But there's one of these on each floor, so that people could prepare something if they came home late and they want to
Okay.
heat up their meal from downstairs, or if they
Okay.
needed to come in and clean a bottle, or
Okay.
they just wanted some water in the middle of the night.
Thank you.
will there be a refrigerator in here or a mini
They have a
fridge?
refrigerator in every room.
Oh,
So
okay.
every room has a mini fridge.
Every room has a mini fridge. Okay.
Do you all have like some kind of rodent control? How will you handle?
Yeah. DGS is our rodent control expert. So every site will have a pest control plan.
The fondue husband wouldn't like to be saying that. No.
Oh, well, I mean,
She would be very happy.
and DOH will provide oversight now. So DGS will
Do they
work with
really,
us.
are they really hands-on? Because I know some of the shelters are just overrun with rodents. Like the D Street shelter.
So the D Street shelter is
Yeah, it's not.
different, but we can talk about that one later. But we will definitely have a pest control plan in place, and we'll want to resolve any issues quickly because this is a building that we want to be serving families for a long time. And it's actually one of the things that you all requested to have in your good neighbor agreement to make sure that there was a solid pest control plan.
Your mom fired.
Yes, your mom is Simon.
No, she's not. Hi.
Okay, we can go downstairs. I want to just give you guys a view of the back. We can't walk on the back portion right now because there's a lot of construction materials in the way, but we can give you a view. And on the back, we can look out the window. Let's look out the window on the back.
Did y'all go down here?
We did not go down.
Okay. So,
Tanya, what do you want to say? I don't know what VHS, but I can't remember.
Operations for FSA. So, yeah, so all the contracts and grants, those budget.
Okay.
Stuff. Yeah.
hey.
They sort of, because they're split into.
Okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah, so my team.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tamitha Davis. She was
Oh,
on ESG
yeah.
before. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be so beautiful.
Room to breathe. Yep.
Nobody's too crowded.
Good. How are you?
I am awesome.
Oh, wow.
What did you just tell them about over there?
There's going to be a playground over there
Oh,
with a generator.
okay.
And on this side of the yard will be a half basketball court.
Oh, nice.
Where would that be?
This whole portion here.
Oh, right there.
And so on this side, we'll have an even taller fence.
Oh, yeah, so the ball will go over it. Yeah.
Look at those bikes on the roof over there.
Yeah. Those are our neighbors. Yeah, this is back again.
Fine, I got it. I'm not supposed to.
You took your hat off?
You see how bad I'm sweating?
I know, my husband, he had to leave. He was supposed to.
Chamber plan is too big, then on this side where the court is, or an additional 8-foot netting, so the ball.
So it's chain link fence, but it's not, like privacy kind of thing.
No, it's going to be.
Will there be,
So there's a basketball. And there's, you said there's gonna be basketball?
Yeah, half court on this side, actually.
Residents and activists.
Oh, yeah, you put names on.
essentially from the planters to the.
And that's commercial right there. Commercial
Some of
is
that's
residential.
residential. So some of that's residential.
We problem solve.
Okay.
with donation.
So when someone comes here, there's an intake.
So the intake is actually at Virginia Williams Family Resource Center.
Oh,
so
okay.
intake is still done centrally, and then they would be placed in one of our sites.
Okay. So when you come here, you're not,
When you come here, you've already been assessed. You've already
Okay,
gone through an intake.
got it,
They've
okay.
already determined that your family is eligible for services
Okay.
At Virginia Williams, huh?
at Virginia Williams.
okay. Thank you.
Well, when this site goes up, it's gonna be like the only one for a minute?
No.
Not very.
This is, are they going up simultaneously or just?
Of our short-term family housing sites, 3 will open this fall.
Right.
So 4, 7, and 8 are scheduled to open in the fall.
4, 7, and 8.
For the sites in wards 4.
Right, I got you.
And then the following summer, the sites in wards 3, wards 5, and 6 will come online.
3 at a time, okay.
And then in 2020, the summer of 2020, the Ward 1 site will come online. And the Ward 1 site is apartment style, it's not replacement for
That's
DC
the
General.
point where they completely close down DC General, right?
No, we are closing DC General in October.
Yeah, I think
We've started to, we stopped making new placements at DC General in May. And we're decreasing the census now. As families move out to permanent housing, the number of people living there will drop. And we're gonna close.
That's another thing. If a person comes through here, this is really like a transitional period, you know, for a homeless person. I've been in transition too. I did it 11 years ago. I went through transition. Transition prepares you for permanent housing. When you put people, and where I work for the guy who owns the building next door, who used to own this building. And where I work, people are in permanent supportive housing programs with no preparation, and it's a mess. You know, so you probably would know about the programmatic structure of a place like this. But it would behoove them to have some sort of preparation, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. They'll be back.
I mean, oh yeah.
I've seen people blow permanent supportive housing vouchers. I've seen them flat out blow it because they just weren't, didn't have enough structure
So,
in their
yeah, so our team has been really thoughtful about the services that, and we can share I think we've shared it with this group, but the solicitation that went out for service providers. But they're really thoughtful about the services that we want to have on site. But we also, most of our families exit with rapid rehousing. And in the rapid rehousing program, they have a case manager for at least a year that's working with them on the things that you're talking about. It's not perfect,
Well, of course not.
but we are providing supports to families.
This is better than, what was that other one? Housing First, that, you know. Housing First, and maybe 6 to 8 months will get you some case management, you know, I'm glad they rethought that.
But actually, housing first wasn't that.
No, when they started, they were pulling people out of the park, Franklin Park, giving them keys.
Yeah,
And sending them to the, no case management.
it's still a hybrid first model, but
Yeah,
it looks a little different for
it's
families.
hopefully it's stepwise refinement, hopefully it's getting, you know.
We are always taking people's feedback and working to improve our services, evolving our program. As a
I do speak as a guy who's seen a lot.
no, and you're gonna see more when you're nearby, so we want to hear from you. I'm gonna make sure mine.
Are you doing something live?
I'm video.
I see Aaron say, I spy.
I'm not doing live. It's
Someone
too
did
hard. Too
live.
hard.
Aaron tweeted us.
What'd she say?
She said, I spy Natalie Snyder and Nisa 655.
I'm trying to like take notes,
I know.
videotape,
I'm-
take pictures.
I just decided just to video. 'Cause
What is all this? Are these rooms back here? Oh no, but this is the first floor. Never mind, because this is like common area stuff.
Girl, this is, ooh, Lord, this is scary.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you okay?
Really? I'm just not gonna look. I'm not gonna look down. Just gonna look straight ahead. Cause that's
So now we're in there.
this is the this is the apartment building.
I watched you go down there and I went back to
It's a little too scary for me. I'm
Were you here for the groundbreaking?
No, I missed at the time. I thought it was at 2 and it was at 10.
We were down there.
Oh, wow.
This was covered up.
Oh, look, there's someone down there right now.
So this is parking for like the staff, or
It's only staff. It's
only staff parking? Okay.
Yeah, and that one.
I just did the cameras on my condo building. Super easy.
We got taking good pictures. Can you email it to me?
You know, I'm doing a video because no matter how many notes I write, I still, but I do have some pictures that I'll send in Tiffany too. Someone asked, I definitely do a video. Yes. People ask questions and I would be at a meeting and people ask questions. I'm like,
I know. And I saw you recording what he was saying, and I didn't
Yes.
record that part. So
Right.
that's what I
I'm
wanted to
trying to record.
So do I need to send you an email to remind
Family
you?
should have more.
Yes. What you
I
think?
think the family should have more.
I mean,
Yes.
you have a 2-parent family.
You mean you think you should have a double bed or something? They're gonna have 2 beds. On the bed. Yeah.
Miss Jackie would let me bring this one home.
Can I ask, the exit that we came out of, is that where the families would be coming out of? Or no, that was going to be,
That's just a delivery,
okay.
large delivery area.
So how does the family access the outside area?
The door. Are you talking about the steps or the door?
We came through some steps. Okay, come through the steps
door?
and they make a right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's 2 doors. We can go back,
Okay,
I'll show you
whenever
2
you're
doors.
ready. Because when we came down those steps, you saw those big holes on
Yeah,
the side.
So those steps are not going to be.
Okay,
for
that's
use.
just for, okay.
Yeah, that's just for emergency.
So is there RPP parking on Kennedy? Or
I did not check, but I am going to when I go out there to see what's the restrictions.
Just so that for people, right? Because for people who do have cars,
Right.
we don't want to make it
Well,
hard
that's
for
why
them.
she said they'll work with them
Oh, okay,
to make
good.
sure those are all addressed.
Okay.
Because the last thing you need is they're
Well,
getting a bunch of
they
tickets
need to
in.
start
Right.
working on that now.
To try.
No,
Well, when
no,
is
it
this
depends
expected to
on
open
who-
again?
It depends on who's moving with the car, so they wouldn't know. So it's as they come in and they know they have cars, it's what they will.
Oh, there's no list right now of folks, like
I
a
don't-
waiting list?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
That-
Who is the program person? Because we're just talking with the contractors, right?
No, Jenna.
Jenna is the program person. Okay, so I'll ask. I feel like I'm asking Jenna all these questions. She's my girl.
And you like,
And I'm
Oh, this
videotaping.
is this the parking for the? No, that's just
Nope,
underneath.
this isn't the site.
What is that?
that's parking
Oh,
for
that
them.
belongs to the Kennedy Street. Okay.
So all our parking will be under
Oh, underground. Okay. Oh, you do have underground parking for the staff.
for the staff. 11 spaces.
How many did you say? 11 spaces. 11 spaces.
Jenna, can you take me through what it'll be like for a child that is attending a school around here, or any school, what it will be like for that child? So that child goes to school, and let's say they stay at a friend's house to complete homework. Will that child have a fob or something, or is the fob only with the parent? How will that child gain access back into the building? And does that child have a curfew, or they can come home at any time?
It depends on the age of the child.
Okay.
But so if it was an older child, like maybe late middle school or high school,
Okay.
they could have a fob for themselves.
Okay.
But But for the most part, I think we expect parents to be with kids. They also have a curfew, and the curfew will be determined in the program rules. So the
Okay.
service provider will work with DHS to identify what the curfew is.
Will the advisory team be a part of any of those? What did you just call it? The
Program rules.
program
So,
rules.
as part of the Good Neighbor Agreement, we committed to sharing program rules with you.
Mm-hmm.
But the program rules really define the programmatic component that happens inside the site.
Okay.
So we are not going to ask you guys to weigh in on those.
Okay.
Who has a curfew? Even if a parent, what if a parent is working as a guard at night?
Then that's an acceptable reason not to be meeting a curfew. So there is a curfew in general, but we make accommodations for things like a nighttime job, an emergency where a family member's in the hospital, going to visit a sick mother. There are certainly ways that we make accommodations for families.
So you have babysitters or some sort of somebody has 3 kids and they get sick. You have somebody, yes.
No, we do not have childcare providers on site, and generally staff does not watch kids. So, in cases where a family member had an issue and they had to leave their kids on site, sometimes people leave them with other families. They make arrangements for a babysitter to come in, or they make arrangements to have a family member or a friend come into the site. But typically staff does not watch the kids.
So what if an emergency occurs and the mother gets sick and has her 3 children? What's the scenario? What happens?
Well, if a child gets sick, the mother has to go to the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, we would,
To the children.
in emergency circumstances, we would make accommodations. So we'd figure out how to watch the kid while the parent's emergency was met. If there was no other, I mean, this is really a CFSA question at some point, which is great that Brenda's here. But in most emergency circumstances, I think that's something we could work out without involving CFSA. If a parent was really going to be in the hospital for an extended period of time, we'd probably seek CFSA's assistance about how
Or
to.
other family, or there's a wonderful program that does basically like host homes, and you don't bring a child into foster care. It's connected with an organization called DC 127. We partner with them. They're a congregation of multiple churches and synagogues, and they have families who've already been licensed who volunteer to do this.
Wow.
And that's exactly, I know, it's wonderful. And so that would be exactly the kind of situation, but we would go with family first. But yeah, they do that.
So
Follow the name.
And in fact, that would probably be good to make a formal connection with the different,
Yeah, because it sounded like that was the word that was missing, because
Follow
what
the
she was
maze.
describing is workable,
Follow
but it's
the maze.
informal.
Follow the
So,
maze.
but what you're suggesting.
But no, they
is
match
that-
them up. No, it's a
Right.
formal program, but they're voluntary. They don't
So it's not
accept. They're not.
connected with the facility.
Yep,
What it was.
yes,
That's
yes.
what I'm saying.
Yep. So
They-
they
what-
know
what
that they
you
would
were
have them as a
saying was,
resource.
well, they put another
The
family.
program provider, we can make that connection.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. And then
That's
with
it.
the
That would be even
collaborative
better,
also
actually.
has some collaborative.
Just a suggestion, I mean.
But yeah, no, it's good.
So your personnel that will be here 24/7, you have a security personnel, and then do you have a social worker or shifts where there's at least one social worker here, even if it's 2:00 in the morning?
So let me just walk you through what we know we're going to have for staffing. So
Okay.
we know we'll have 24/7 2 security guards on site, and their primary role will be security. So one will be likely at the front desk, the other one will be walking around the site. We will also have on every floor during the day, in the evening on every floor we'll have a monitor. So the monitor's desk that Ajay pointed out when we were upstairs will be staffed every evening through the night. During the day we'll have 2 monitors on site, and they'll be roaming the building. We will also have case managers in the building during the day and other support staff. The complement of staff looks a little bit different based on responses from service providers, because there will likely be 3 different providers for the first 3 sites, and their staff complement can look a little bit different.
Okay, when we were touring the building, I didn't pay attention at the time. Are there cameras on each floor? Like,
There are cameras. Can you talk about what
Interns on
did you hear that? He said-
So there are security cameras on each floor and in the stairwells.
Okay. One last question. I brought this up.
Those are good questions.
I'm not trying to monopolize the time here. Sorry. the security guards and the monitors. So you're hiring private companies that will, they're getting a contract to do this work. And these private companies, you have vetted that. One of the concerns I have is security guards being very friendly with people that live in housing like this.
That happened at DC General, didn't it?
Oh, right. And I wasn't even thinking about, right. So how do we,
So
what background, well, I guess you don't have to get into background checks, but what do you,
Even with a background
Yeah.
check, what you need is rules.
how do you
protocols
monitor,
that
right, what are the protocols?
preclude that from happening.
Right.
That's really what you need, no matter what a person's
Background is, that's
Everything
true.
is not in your background.
That's true,
One
that's
of the
true.
things that's in district law is that anyone that's working with children is required to have a background check.
Okay.
But it's also one of the things that you guys wrote into the Good Neighbor Agreement.
Yes.
To reiterate the importance of that.
Yes.
Get the criminal background check, the child protective services registry. But to your point,
Right.
too, yeah,
Mhm.
there's certain rules, and I think, yes, we're all aware of an incident at DC General, but that there was a company, and some years ago, and there was some incidents, and they got completely terminated. And DC General, in under DHS, and its partner came up with some very specific rules and much tighter protocols
To counter that.
vetting and all that. Yes, so things do happen, but you think they've got hundreds of families and thousands, if you think of over the years, and you haven't heard of a whole lot of incidents. So I mean, that could happen anywhere, but
Right.
yeah.
Well, in the military, we have officers don't fraternize with enlisted.
Right.
Like you are
Yeah,
not
you
allowed
gotta
to go.
draw the lines,
So
absolutely,
yeah.
yes.
Is it like staff don't fraternize? We're not going to go get some ice
Right.
cream on Kennedy Street and see staff and not staff, but
Yep. Oh, you're right.
fraternizing with.
No, you shouldn't.
Okay. Right.
This seems like
Right.
a good time to provide an update on the solicitation for our service provider. So when we met last, we had told you that we released the solicitation. We, in the next 2.5 weeks, expect to award the solicitation. So we'll have selected a service provider for this site and then for the sites in Ward 7 and 8. So as soon as that award is made, we will send you all an email so you know who the selected service provider is. We tentatively have an August advisory team meeting set up. What I wanted to suggest is that we push that advisory team meeting to September. And September 12th, we are tentatively holding as a date to introduce the advisory team here to the service provider. So if that works for you guys, I would like to put that on the calendar. And then we'll make sure that once we have the provider selected, we
And then
can...
this will be built out more, and it'll be,
Ask them questions,
Yeah.
the service provider to
And
see
that's
that
where
all those
the good neighbor
holes are-
agreement is with the service provider,
Yeah.
to
right?
see that all those issues have been accounted for, that they have some practical ways that they're addressing those issues.
And that they know what the community's expectations are, and they can tell us what their expectations are of the community as well.
Exactly. So the point of that meeting is to just introduce folks, to finalize. You guys have a solid draft of a Good Neighbor Agreement, but we want to make sure we talk through that and make sure that everything you've articulated is heard by the contractor, and that we can agree that this is the Good Neighbor Agreement that we're going to go by. And then I think we can just open the floor up and talk about other issues that folks want to make sure the service provider is aware of.
And do the residents themselves, is there a complaint process that they can complain about a service provider?
Yes.
Because, sometimes even like in nursing homes, when you have elderly, they may be mistreated, but like no one listens to elderly people, so there needs to be a clear, and then the same way with poor people, there needs to be a clear complaint process that the resident can use.
We have an office that is called OPRMI, the Office of Program Review, Monitoring, and Investigation. And they are the right place for anyone to file a complaint about the services that they received through the Department of Human Services, and they'll investigate that complaint. So if there were complaints, I would say DHS will have a representative that is always working with this community, and that could be your first point of contact, but OPRMI is also an independent point of contact within our agency that you could reach out to too if there was an issue.
And do they you all require posting just like you have to post the EEOC notices in an employer does, and like the minimum wage notices you have to post at places? Are those postings required in buildings run by the district?
I don't know
so they
that
can make those complaints.
OPRMI is required.
Yeah, we post it.
We post them for sure. We definitely post them.
Okay.
And it's a very active part of our agency. They investigate a lot of people.
So is
Not
that
all.
posted on the website, on the DHS website?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
posted
Physically
right
in
in the
buildings,
building.
Oh, it's in buildings as well.
With
Okay.
EEOC postings and minimum wage,
Right,
they have to
okay.
be posted where employee.
Yeah, right. I
can see.
wasn't sure if they were going to be posted in the building.
They're also when people come into our programs, they receive a copy of program rules, and in the program rules it talks about OPRMI and other ways to escalate concerns.
Okay.
And we'll share those with you guys.
Construction question.
Oh well, that's not me.
Yes. What's the gentleman's name?
Yes, ma'am.
Construction question. We've had lots of rain. Have you had any issues? Lots of my constituents have complained about flooding. Have you had any flooding issues here, and how are you taking care of that?
So we have not had any flooding issues.
Great.
And right now, so we got a lot of rain this month and previous this month, and we were already what we call weather tight. So the
Okay.
roof is on, the windows are sealed, and we were in a good place when the rain started.
Okay, last question, and this might be programming. The laundry, I don't think we talked about. How do the kids, did we see a laundry facility in there? I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So
Maybe I
there's
was
a
doing video.
Yes, there's
Okay.
a space right now. On each floor, there's a laundry space for each floor.
There's
That's probably that
dryers,
cubby
right?
that
Two washers.
you
Do you have
said.
to use coins or are they free?
That is programmed.
No, they're free.
So on each floor, 2 washers, 2 dryers that are free. Okay.
Free? Oh, I need to move
No,
next.
I know. We're asking questions for us to move in.
So for.
Mine takes quarters.
So because it opens in October and school will have already started, so let's say some kids are going to school now near DC General, how are they gonna be transferred, or will they continue in their school for that?
So I just want to
fall?
clarify, our goal is for families at DC General to move into permanent housing and not to move to new programs.
Oh.
So they'll stay.
So there,
Oh, this is supposed to be for new families.
yeah.
Okay.
So there could be some that transfer. Students under the federal law have a right to go to their school of origin, so the school that they went to before they experienced homelessness, or to go to their in-boundary neighborhood school. So there could be some students that choose to transfer into the in-boundary neighborhood school, and there will be some that stay in their school of origin. We find that given all the options around in school choice in DC, that most students experiencing homeless do not attend, around DC General, do not attend the in-boundary school for that neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
They attend 50 different schools.
I'm not sure if this is a programming or construction question. The trash cans. Did you already point that out?
So we do have.
Did you?
We have a trash chute.
Okay.
And we have a trash compaction room on the basement level. So
What
each
the
floor has
heck?
access to the trash chute, and it'll
What the
come
heck?
down to the basement, and then the helpers are in the trash room in the basement, and they'll be pulled out. and picked up.
And so it's a city building, so does DPW pick up the trash? Or is it considered like a private apartment building where you have to have a separate hauler?
I believe DGS is going to be responsible for trash removal.
DGS is going to
And that's not DGS proper. We'll get that's a contracted service.
And they'll have recycling as well.
So,
And on each floor, on each floor there are recycling cans as well.
So we will, err on the side of over picking up trash, so that we don't have trash just hanging out. And then as we know how much trash the facility creates, we could scale down on the number of pickups that they actually do. But we'll start with more pickups and scale back if we need to.
Because I know some parts of the city have 2 pickups a week. We only have 1 pickup here.
Oh yeah, we only have 1 pickup where I live.
But down on Capitol Hill,
Well, we'll have. I think we're starting with 4 pickups here,
Oh, okay. Wow.
and then
That's good.
we don't expect to need 4, but we're starting with that, and once we figure out what we need, we'll downsize to the right number.
Where'd you say the trash cans are gonna be? Because I have a feeling people are gonna be dumping their trash.
They're actually inside the facility.
Oh, inside.
They will not be able
Okay.
to dump their trash can.
Great.
The only time they'll come out is to the street when it's ready to pick up.
Are kids' school friends allowed to come into this building, or no? Only the people that live here.
It will depend on the provider's rules.
Okay.
I know, for example, that at Gerard Street, one of our other operators, you can have guests. You have to have guests approved in advance. That they do a background check on everyone that comes into the building. So they would need to know in advance that someone was coming, and they couldn't just come home from school with a kid. But it'll depend a little bit on the program rules that a provider works on.
Did they, did we get any arrangement with Hattie Homes? I know they closed so early, but to use their computers, and I know it's a budgetary thing because that's the Office on Aging, but is there any way that they could be helped with their budget so they could stay open later for programs for these families?
So we have a computer lab on site, but that is a concern that I've heard the community ask for over and over again. So we can follow up with DCOA to see what the status of that is. But I don't think we have a need here to have that open.
Is it going to be per floor?
No, there's one
One
computer.
computer room on the first floor.
I think it's 11 computers.
I want to say yes, but I would need to look at my
I think that was one thing too, then we asked for, in our advisory team, that some of our advisory team members were gonna go seek some partnerships with neighboring programs and everything, right? And reach out in some churches. And so that's still a little bit of work that I think the advisory team, we said we would do, but you know, with the DC government agency, we can't ask DCOA. We did ask them before, and I can't remember where we landed, but we do want to make sure, especially like the churches, and there's some other, maybe some other things around. We got a couple of recreation sites. Yeah.
Yeah, because they have like a gym there. It's just that one of the things with Hattie Home, it just closes.
I know,
so early.
right? Because the seniors go after
Yeah.
lunch.
I know, even-
But so that's why there may be a cooperative agreement. Yeah.
Yeah.
we
Sure.
just-
If you can send me an email with the exact
Yeah.
request, then I can pass it along
We
to the
talked
DCOA and
about
see what's
that.
possible.
Yeah.
We did talk about it.
But it was a different deputy mayor.
I've reached out to them in the past for other things, and it's always been a contractual issue that the program is only contractually obligated to provide services and supports for the senior citizens only, and so that's the reason why it opens early and then closes early, is because that's when the seniors have elected that they want their programs to happen, and there's no money in the budget for services after that. If we wanted to pay, if the community wanted to use their rooms, we'd have to pay out of pocket. So I'm assuming it would be the same thing if another government agency wanted to use that building for anything.
But
There'd have
maybe
to be some kind of memorandum of
Yeah.
understanding.
But I think they have somewhat of an unrealistic, maybe we could try to convince them that even for seniors, if I had a parent to pick up, you get off of work at 5, you can't get there before coming from downtown. It takes 30, 40 minutes to get, that place is already closed. Your seniors, your
Let's have
parent
the
is
advisory
standing
team
out on the,
request a meeting with the DC Office on Aging.
your parents standing out on the
I'm happy to
sidewalk.
set that up.
No,
Yeah.
it's just so unrealistic.
I would
I
love
think
it.
let's
It's
get
been
the
an
families
ongoing-
settled in first and see what their needs are and their own rhythms and
Yeah. But it's been an ongoing conversation
But
with the
I
community
think-
for years.
I'm talking about seniors. Nobody noticed. I'm one.
Okay, so we're good.
Can I just ask one last question?
That's what you said last
Yes.
time. Five questions.
Just one. This is it. I know. Green. Is there a green roof? Is there a green? What is green about this building?
Good question.
Yes, thank you. That's the last
We have a
one.
green roof, and we have a number of planters on the deck here.
Okay.
And both of those were used so that we met DOEE requirements, stormwater management requirements, and GAR requirements.
All right.
GAR.
Green area ratio.
All right.
Green meaning what? You got solar
Did you
panels
hear
up there?
And we're lead
Gra-
gold.
Leaf
green
gold,
roofs,
that's
just like,
awesome. I bet it's
sedum,
probably
it's like
only.
little plants and some.
Oh, okay. Nature's green.
That's awesome.
What kind of
Solar
floor is
panels
that
would
up
have been
there?
nice though, right?
Go that way. We could go this way onto the building. On the floor.
Inside the building?
I think I heard folks say that it's okay to move the August meeting to September so it can be with the retroactive.
Yeah, that would be
I
good.
can go that way.
It's great.
Okay. Back to the building. Okay. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, everyone.
DGS, DHS, Jenna, Jackie, Aja. Thank you very much. So don't forget 18, we said we were going to do some welcoming for the families and have some gifts or something and do a little housewarming. So we got to get busy.
And when will that be? What's the date?
So they're going to move in October. So we need to start thinking about that and maybe share some ideas over email. You know, or that.
That's nice.
For the kids,
Yes.
candy and stuff.
Halloween party.
So let's stay true to our Ward 4A team as being so supportive and so creative, and let's really do it. So when we're here and with the mayor and cutting the ribbon and welcoming families in, I mean, this has been really amazing, and these guys know for the other wards that it's not been the same. So we've led the way in every way. So let's do it. Yeah.
So
great.
should by email,
Yeah.
children